We actually moving on to a back exercise. If you know me, it's 2 exercises you need to make sure you're incorporating in your back training. Rows, no matter what variation you use of rows, you need to be incorporating those. Actually, this has actually become one of my favorite rowing machines so far out of all the ones that I've been using. And then 2, another thing you need to be incorporating is pull-ups, and then be able to work up to weighted pull-ups. Y'all hear me say this time and time again, but if you want to build a phenomenal back, make sure you're incorporating weighted pull-ups for sure. If you can't do it, remember, start off with assisted, resistance band, then go to body weight, work your way up from there. So we're going to just do 10 of these. So I just want to give you a disclaimer when you training back, right? I see a lot of bodybuilders tell y'all to do the tuck. The tuck is really optional. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I've had a nice back for a long time, and this actually is something that I just started incorporating into my routine. And I've noticed that if you can't keep everything nice and locked in when it do understand that you can put your neck at vulnerability. So do be very careful with this type of motion. I personally recommend doing this if you're more intermediate to advanced. But if you're somebody that's just starting to train, just do me a favor, draw in. We'll load the back when you hear, squeeze right here, load the back once again when you hear, but you don't have to tuck in like this. Do me that favor, because a lot of people always say the tuck is gonna help you build a better back. And I've been able to build a solid back for years without even doing it. That's something I just started incorporating. Always remember, each and every exercise I want you to focus on, once again, solid foot placement. Very important to understand that. And remember, pull through those elbows, squeeze the back as hard as you can. And then once you're drawing your arms back to the starting position, that's when we want to focus on keeping the tension in the back. But also remember, make sure you squeeze right there as hard as you can. Very important. This is how we build a solid back. And with this machine, I don't know if you're noticing, it's going in and it's dropping down. So I'm telling y'all, this right here, the Cybex machine, one of my favorites when it comes down to rows itself. And remember, while you're doing this, abs nice and tight. Now, in the second set, I do want you to make a drastic leap in the weight. So I started off with 90s. Now I'm at 130. Actually, I think 70 I started off with. But now I'm jumping to 130. So do be mindful. You can make gradual jumps, mainly if you're somebody that's trying to get stronger. And use those 10 as more of a filler set to kind of feel how your body, to see how your body feels. My apologies. Efficient reps. Do me a favor and make sure this is properly adjusted as well. You shouldn't have to reach extremely far in order to grab it, nor should it be extremely close that you're already touching with no extension in your arms. So have a little bit of extension in your arms, so that way you extend, you don't have to lean in natural just like this. You can grip, pull straight back, nice and clean. Like I said, if it's too far, it's like you gotta strain your back in order to grab the bar. So like this is straining your back in order to grab the bar. So if the weight is too heavy, guess what? It's vulnerable right now, those shoulders, believe it or not. So just make sure this is set up properly in order to get the best out of your rows. Let's get it. Remember, I want you to really focus on being nice and flowing with your rows. See right there, nice solid stretch, and then squeeze. Remember, pulling through the elbows the entire time. Another thing I need you to pay attention to is that seat placement. Seat placement is going to be very important. Make sure it's not too low. If it's too low, you're going to start pulling in the shoulders. I don't want you to pull in shoulders. I want you to focus on pulling into that back. Very important. So remember, the seat adjustment at the bottom as well as the pad at the top is going to be very important. So now we going into third set. Third set in this particular exercise, if you can only get 6 is going to be your bottom weight. You can only get 6, nothing wrong with that. But I still want you to work towards getting 10 nice and solid, but you still want to make another drastic jump. So me personally on this last one, I put it on 210. Just to kind of go up to show you how we going up. Or within this particular program, you can use the same weight and do 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps, whatever one you feel more comfortable with. But if you're somebody like me that's focused on bulk and season, not too much of the toning, do understand I recommend the progressive overload. Like I said, once we get to that top weight on the third set, we want to focus on at least 6 reps. Still shooting for 10, but at least 6. Another thing, if you notice, and I am using wrist straps today because I want to make my job a little bit easier. And another thing I do love about wrist straps is it does allow me to, guess what, focus on more connectivity with my back instead of actually having my forearms fatigue as well as having my hand grip fatigue. Because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, yesterday when I was training chest, my hand grip was fatiguing like crazy. Another thing you can do too, I don't know if you see this here, you can put your feet right there to have a better drive. This is going to dictate if you have to extend it a little bit more. So as you can see now, I got to extend it a little bit more to make it make sense. I think I'm gonna go one more right here. Yep, the nice and easy. And then pull. So remember, those little things are going to make significant differences. And as you can see, I like to go heavy with this type of weight, with machines, not weight. But I like to go heavier with machines itself. I should have just go ahead and maxed out the machine, but we're going to say that for another time. Easy. See, nice and flowing. Look at that, nice and flowing. Keep that chest nice and tall. Abs should be tight. Lower back should be tight as well. Makes a significant difference in engagement. It's all about engagement. All about engagement. You want to have the most solid engagement you possibly can have. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Good. Nice and easy.